Introducing the fighter standing in the blue corner, wearing blue with white. He officially weighs in 135 pounds. Presentando ustedes en la esquina azul, con pantaloncillo color azul con blanco, con un peso de 135 libras. He stands with a record of 1 victory and no defeats. Cuenta con un récord de una victoria sin conocer la derrota. De Tijuana, Baja California, Jorge Garcia. And his opponent across the ring is standing in the red corner, wearing blue with gold and white. He officially weighs in the same 135 pounds. Presentando a su rival en la esquina roja, con pantaloncillo color azul con oro y blanco, con un peso idéntico de 135 libras. He stands with a record of 1 victory against no defeats, and that victory coming by the way of knockout. Presenta su récord de 1 victoria, 0 derrotas, y esa victoria por la vía del cloroformo. De la ciudad del juego, Las Vegas, Nevada, Estados Unidos, Rey Diaz. Y su referee dando las indicaciones finales. With the final instructions, your referee, Ángel Méndez. 4 asaltos, 4 rounds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we start our final fight of the evening, you have Rey Diaz of Las Vegas, Nevada versus Jorge Garcia of Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. I'm going to say that for the very last time of the night. And like Dylan mentioned earlier, you got Rey Diaz, who won numerous national titles in the amateur boxing ranks for USA Boxing. So he's coming in here very well schooled. So obviously we don't know what what type of experience Jorge Garcia has, but right from the look of it, it doesn't seem like he has the most experience. You know, kind of a little bit of an awkward stance as Diaz walks him down, throwing a good jab. And a good body shot there by Diaz. And the crowd asking for a hard right hand from Garcia. And a solid jab connected by Diaz. And solid 1-2s once again by Diaz. And Jorge Garcia doesn't seem to have an answer for the attack of Diaz. He's just kind of backpedaling with not too much offense. And the defense also not too effective as well. As maybe the ice a little slippery for Garcia there in the corner from the previous bout. Rey Diaz, Daniel being his middle name, just taking his time, picking his shots.
Yeah, you see Rey staying calm, staying intelligent.
Definitely, yeah. And those are some thudding shots landing by Diaz, where Jorge Garcia has no answer for these hard shots, as the fans are asking for something from Garcia, but with nothing coming back. They're asking to hug him.
He has to do something, Chris.
Diaz
he has not responded.
And there he goes, throws a very weak right hand, left hook. And this is all Diaz. This might be the first and only mismatch of this whole entire card, ladies and gentlemen. As we get the final 10 seconds of the bout, and it seems like Garcia is going to make it out of this first round. It didn't seem like he was, Dylan, but he made it out of the round.
Coming up to round 2, Chris, a dominating performance so far by Diaz.
Absolutely, man. I was kind of just mesmerized. Like, what am I going to say? How am I going to close this show? This is how I'm going to close. I have a feeling it's going to end in this round, so I'm going to tell you this story, Dylan, and I'm going to tell everybody this story. So earlier, you said you come into the boxing gyms, you grab everybody's gear, right?
Right.
And that's what happens. No problem. I never complained about sharing my gloves, whatever, in the boxing gym. So I have 2 amateur fights in Tijuana. My very first amateur boxing fight in Tijuana, a teammate of mine asks me, he says, "Hey, can I borrow your cup?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." I fought. I let him borrow my cup. He borrows my cup. What does he do? He wears it commando. Bro, hold on. He wears it commando. He gives it back to me with a pee stain inside the cup. I was furious. I was furious.
Hey, did you use it?
Of course I used it. I had to use it. It was a Rey Diaz cup. So at the time,
You gotta.
Hey man, my parents, they hooked me up, man. At one point, it was my birthday. Anyways, yeah. He commandoed my cup. He gave it back to me with a pee stain. I remember it was a white cup on the inside. It was black on the outside, white on the inside. Pee stain, very obvious.
Jesus. Hey, we're seeing Jorge a little more active in this round.
He was a lot active in the first round. He's trying to take Garcia out. Was Diaz. He seems a little bit more calm now, but you're right. He's active, but a little bit more calm in my opinion. Solid jab there, landed by Diaz, and
good body work by Diaz as well.
That's how you're gonna break a guy down. Just continuously jab him, walking forward, walking him down with the hard jab. And let's not forget, Jorge Garcia is undefeated. He's 1-0. He's won before. Has not tasted defeat. Maybe not the level of a Rey Diaz, but undefeated. He's trying to fight like it, trying to return those shots. Telling somebody that's never lost before.
You know what's probably helping Jorge Garcia? We have the champ and Eric Morales, ex-champ. Both yelling in his favor. Actually, him being from Tijuana, you know.
Honestly, bro, I think he's telling Rey Diaz what to do, but I'm not entirely sure. He might be cockeyed.
Oh, no, you're right.
And Garcia is going to make it out the second round as well, man. This is a tough guy taking punishment from Rey Daniel Diaz. And like I said earlier, man, this is the first fight that we get that's a little lopsided.
Yeah.
And still
in
the fight.
You know what? I think that the champs are supporting both fighters. I think they're just enjoying the fights right now.
Yes. You know what, man? That's what I love, because they're boxing fans. A former world champion, multi-millionaire, doesn't have to be here. He wants to be here. There's no high-level fights here, but they're just fights. They're good fights, Jaime Munguia, same thing. He wants to be here. World champion. I'm sure he's made a lot of money. Doesn't have to be here. He wants to be here, enjoying the fights, watching these fights, And Gomez taking the more seconds that he could on the stool. And Eric El Terrible Morales, you were correct, Dylan. He is imploding Jorge Garcia to do something, asking him if he wants to win.
I think the champs are playing a little game. One's going for Rey. And
and a solid left hook landed by Diaz, wobbled Garcia, but he didn't go down.
Solid chin on Garcia.
Solid chin by Garcia.
Golden chin.
Golden chin by Garcia. And good little setup, pity pat to set up your hard shots by Diaz. And world champion Jaime Munguia telling Garcia and telling Diaz to not get overexcited, to not get desperate. And once again, they're just fans here today, guys. They're fans.
And you have to think about the huge opportunity that these two fighters, young fighters, 1-0 both, are having these two champions giving them advice.
Yes. And them sitting ringside to watch you fight. Your second professional fight for both fighters. Even though Diaz is controlling this fight, and now there's a mouse under the right eye of Jorge Garcia, and it's starting to get bigger and bigger.
You see Diaz with constant work,
and those are hard shots, and Garcia is taking them. And who knows if he's gonna be able to come out for the fourth round, as I see the body language kind of giving away there.
Those are some hard body shots that he's been taking, Chris.
He's taking all types of hard shots, but he's got that golden chin.
And there's no quit in him. But Diaz has not stopped.
Wow. Consistent from Diaz. Look at that mouse. It's getting bigger and bigger.
Good body.
My goodness. The chin, the will. I honestly think Garcia needs to be saved from himself. I don't believe that the corner should let him out for the last and final round. I think they should really call it. You know, he's tough. He proved he's tough.
I agree, Chris. I'm not seeing anything that shows any chance of winning right now. He seems to be just accepting the punishment.
And he seems like he is going to go back out there, Dylan. And honestly, it would be against my advice.
The doctor's heading up there.
And here's the corner. Here's the corner. Here's the doctor taking another look at it. As you guys can see on the replay, not really much landing there, but you see a withered fighter here in Garcia. And he's going to come out,
Chris.
And he's going to tough it out, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is round number 4, your final round, damas y caballeros. Este es el round número 4, el último round.
So Jorge Garcia here is pretty much just on survival mode.
He's fighting on heart right now.
And all heart like we saw at the end of that third round. He does have a mouse under his eye. And a good response there after Garcia tries to mount an attack, shaking his head.
You know, I think Diaz would be more successful if he slowed down just a little bit and picked his punches. He would hurt him a lot more, and he could do punches that he doesn't have to throw that hard. Right now, he has a non-responsive.
Wow. A
Garcia.
very non-responsive opponent in Garcia. And he's picking his shots. I think he's doing a good job of picking his shots. And what a fighter Garcia is. Oh my goodness.
Without
taking
doubt.
these hard shots. And really, the corner should have stepped in.
That was Marcos Maidan. No, what was it? Victor Ortiz.
Victor Ortiz on Floyd Mayweather.
Mayweather.
He gets the point taken away. No warning, but maybe that was a bit abrupt, and he deserved it. Not necessarily gonna change anything in this fight.
I think it's the last round. I think Garcia needs to throw something. You know, he needs to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Diaz.
Yeah, and once again, talking about the fans over here, that we got professional fighters. You got world champion Jaime Munguia. You got famous legend Eric El Terrible Morales telling this guy, if you win this round, you win the fight. Telling Jorge Garcia, the guy losing this whole fight. But it's
that was a nice uppercut by Garcia.
That was a
there we
solid
go.
uppercut. And you see them getting excited over a fighter that probably doesn't have a chance against an elite level fighter, Rey Diaz. You know, elite amateur fighter. And these are going to be the hardest 45 seconds of Gomez's career. Wow, what a shot. What a chin by Garcia. I think the Golden Chin Award goes to Garcia here tonight. You got 10 seconds.
Good left hook by Garcia, and he survives.
Wow. Eric Morales and Jaime Munguia were cheering the entire fourth round. If you guys could hear the background noise, two legends. Because I assume that Jaime Munguia is going to go down as a legend, considering his action-packed style.
You know, Chris, I think with this last fight, we have to trademark another saying, and that's TJ Tough.
TJ Tough,
because these
absolutely,
Tijuana
man.
fighters have taken, you know, punishment and have stayed in there. There was no give in them.
Tonight, man, there was no give in Jorge Garcia right here in our last bout, in our last swing bout. You know, we didn't have any quick stoppages. Well, typically they would step in a swing bout. What I tell young fighters, you don't want to be a swing bout. Most likely you will be a swing bout. In this case, they waited all the way to the end of the telecast. If you're on the West Coast, it's currently 11 o'clock. If you're on the East Coast, you're probably asleep and it's 2 in the morning and you saw this the day after.
Not on quarantine, man. You know they're staying up.
You think everybody's staying up on quarantine? I don't know, man. But I enjoyed to hear the fights tonight, Dylan. I enjoyed calling the fights here with you. I want to once again thank Toscano Boxing Promotions, Global Sports Streaming, Best in Boxing, Fight Hub TV. Man, this is what it's about, man. This is what's taking over the world. Is we're seeing streaming taking over cable television. You know, even ESPN, who dominated the television networks for years, decades, are going into the streaming business. So I'm glad to be part of this this startup. You know,
historic event, really.
It really is, and the fact that we did this during a pandemic, like you mentioned earlier, during this quarantine that we all had to stay in our houses, stay in our homes. Hey man, boxing is back. Boxing is here. One way or another, we're gonna get it. And let's go to Pablo Flores
After 4 rounds of boxing, we now have the judges' scorecards. Después de 4 rounds de combate, nos vamos con las tarjetas de los jueces. All 3 judges. Los 3 jueces Juan Luis Barba, Leobardo Ibarra, y Francisco Pacheco have scored the same 38-36. Coinciden números 38-36. For your winner by the way of unanimous decision, su ganador por la vía de la decisión unánime, de Las Vegas, Nevada, Estados Unidos, Rey Daniel Diaz.